Oh, 5 seconds. There we go. All right. We are live, episode 98 of the Shooter's Mindset Show. Thank you guys for joining us here. We're 2 minutes late, but that's good timing compared to what I thought this show was going to end up being. So Jennifer Seymour's in the house. Thanks for coming in, Jennifer. What's going on?
Not much. Just got off of work and ran in to be on the show.
Yeah, it's been a busy day for me. It's a busy Wednesdays, but we got our guest here that everybody's here to see today. That's Justin Winstead. What's going on, Justin?
Not much. Doing well.
Doing well. Well, it's good to see you, man. We met in person before. Usually, I don't get to meet the guests before we have them on the show. So, we've talked in person, which is a good thing. So the natural vibe here is hopefully going to flow during the show. We share a lot of. We believe in the same gear. We believe in training with the same people, too. So this is a good thing. Jen, you shot a USPSA match. What was it? Past weekend? How'd that go?
Yeah, Saturday. It was all right. I did all right some of the time. I got to shoot a Texas Star with pistol, which I've done it a few times with shotgun, but never with pistol. It went well. I was worried about it, but it went pretty well.
Yeah, they seem a little intimidating, but they're not so awful as long as you have decent, pistol skills. You can probably get them down pretty fast. You're shooting limited minor though with that 17L, right?
Yeah, limited minor. I want 3-gun back. 2 hits on paper anywhere.
Yeah, so it's more USPSA is more of like a skill set for you just to get your pistol skills better for 3-gun. So you're not really going out there to try to game it all out and win it, right?
Right.
Yeah, so. All right, Justin, what's going on, man? For those who kind of are unfamiliar with you, tell us a little bit more about yourself, because you're a youngster coming up. There's a lot of young shooters coming up in the game right now, which is a great thing. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and how long you've been shooting for.
I've been shooting for about 1.5 years now, and I actually got started when we went to go and buy my mom's carry gun, and I overheard somebody there at the range talking about IDPA, and I asked questions like, well, how do you have to be, what do you need, and everything else. So the next week we went and watched a match, and I decided, well, this looks really fun, I would like to do it. And I actually went and bought a Glock 34 and a Blade Tech setup, and I've just been shooting ever since. Been training and working really hard to get where I am.
Man, so 1.5 years, that's not a long time, really, man. I thought you were doing it for a little longer than that. So, but you never shot any firearms prior to that, or was 1.5 years you picked up a gun, you got addicted, and you've been going with it since?
No, I've been shooting like rifles, like 22s and stuff like that, from when I was about 7 years old. Didn't really pick up a gun afterwards until I was 10 and started hunting. And I started shooting pistols about 2 years ago. That's when I fired my first pistol. And after that, I just loved it.
Boom, yeah. So, I mean, crazy. I already said it once, but my same setup was a Glock 34, and I still use that Glock 34, though. It's not like I kind of reared off or anywhere. Glock 34 and a Blade Tech setup, and I went out there with a Blade Tech Revolution setup. So it was their affordable setup, the double magazine pouches, man. And I go back and look at that video because I recorded like my first match on to now, and it's pretty bad looking. You know what I mean? I thought I knew what I was doing, but I really didn't know nothing. And it's maybe I'll post that video up to see how horrible it is on social media, so people can laugh at me. I think you could definitely see the improvement. But so, and I'm still shooting that Glock 34 today. I can't get away from the Glock for some reason. Like I'll pick up other guns, and my buddy would be like, "He got this cool gun. Let's go to the range and fire it." I'm like, "Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's just I don't know. I can always find something." That it's just hard to. I don't know if it's the grip. I'm already used to it, and I don't know, man. It's very hard for me to switch off a Glock, even though everybody's like, "Man, the Glock's old news. You got to go to this 2011 setup. Let's get a custom gun. Let's do all this fancy stuff, the tank folios and all that stuff."
You've been dabbling in the fancy stuff.
I've been trying to dabble.
You've been dabbling.
It's just hard to completely just put down the Glock and say, you know what? No more. It's just really hard for me to do it. I'm just so used to it after shooting for like almost 5 years now. Thousands of rounds down range. It's like to let it go. Some people are like, stop whining about it. But you know what I mean. Whatever. I still have it, and I'm still running it currently. So.
Well,
There
see,
we go.
I currently started shooting a 2011, and there's no way I could go back to the plastic fantastic for sure. It's
Yeah.
amazing. For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. So, a lot of the top guys like JJ and stuff, they'll say, give them a new gun and give them 1,000 rounds and they're ready to go.
Oh, well,
And
absolutely.
that might be true. So I haven't been able to, I haven't had the luxury to just take 1,000 rounds, a new gun, and go burn it. But let's see. All right. So we got some show sponsors today. As always, we got Fort Mill Munitions. That's teamfmm.com. If you're looking for the handgun ammunition, that's downloaded. You want some lighter stuff for competition, they got some full factory loads, but they also got the lighter stuff. TeamFMM.com. Go check them out for your handgun ammunition needs. We got Brett Russo at Blade Tech Industries, man. Big supporter of the show. Blade Tech, awesome gear. We've already talked about it briefly here. We're going to get into that more. But Blade Tech Industries is a big show sponsor today. Opening show announcements. I got the Shooter's Mindset app for Apple and Android devices. Google Play Store, Apple Store. You can't watch the show live, but you can watch it when it's already over. Like as soon as this is done and I turn it off, it'll upload directly to the app and you can watch it there. If you want to watch it live mobilely, you can still do so through Google Plus and YouTube by just clicking the link on social media and stuff like that. But yeah, download that app. It really helps me out, and we really appreciate it. Q&A reminder, bottom left-hand corner. You're going to see a Q&A box. If you want to ask Justin or any of us here questions throughout the show, you can click that Q&A app, and you'll be able to ask those there. Also on the Shooter's Mindset, there's already a post, the Shooter's Mindset Facebook page. There's already a post where you can enter the show giveaway, and you can ask your questions there. Also, if you prefer to use Facebook. All right, and the Shooter's Mindset show giveaway is back. I know there was a couple, like 4 shows that we didn't do it. We're kind of saving it for the 100th episode, but we got a lot of Justin's a popular dude, and his sponsors love him, so we got some great products from them. So we're going to hit that briefly here in a second. All right, so you've been shooting for only a year and a half competitively. Obviously, you're a young man. What's your age? You're like 16 now?
No, I actually turned 14 in March.
Holy. All right, so you're a lot younger than you look. All right, I mean, you you look like you're at least 17, 18 already almost. But so 14? Jeez.
Yes, sir.
And you beat me already. You beat me at the Florida State IDPA match. It was a rough match for both of us. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later. That's coming up in a question queue. But what are we at? At such a young age, what do you see your shooting goals in 5 years from now?
Well, in 5 years, I mean, I see myself being in college, so it's going to be a little bit hard to struggle with shooting and everything else. But I see myself becoming a better shooter, being more faster and accurately, absolutely.
Yeah.
And being able to shoot more matches and just become an all-around better shooter.
Yeah, 5 years is a long. I mean, so you figured you have 6.5 years experience, and obviously, if you keep shooting local matches and training and on a, and I think you have the luxury of almost shooting at the gun club right there. They probably take care of you, and where your state, I think there's a lot of rules where you can just kind of go out in your backyard and just probably pop off rounds in the forest somewhere. So that's always a benefit to have that luxury. So definitely. So we're definitely seeing a Jennifer. You only been shooting for like a year and a half too, right? A little bit more, a little less?
Yeah, probably. Well, 3-gun I've only been doing a little less than a year and a half, and I had done USPSA maybe 10 months before that.
Okay, so a lot of young gunners here. I've been doing it a lot longer, but that doesn't mean that I'm a lot gooder in a sense. You know what I mean? But we're gonna move on that question because I'm gonna keep putting myself down on this. All right.
You don't want to analyze that?
No, I don't want to go too deep in there. All right. No Q&A, but keep those Q&A rolling. I just opened it up, and I didn't see anything. All right. So me and you both have taken a class with Morgan Allen. And Morgan Allen, I'm a big fan of him as a person, the way he approaches the game, the way he thinks about the game of IDPA and pistol sports. And we both took a class with him. So what were your thoughts on the class with him? And are you planning on taking any more classes with different instructors?
Well, first of all, I think Morgan's a great instructor and a fabulous shooter. He's he's very intelligent of shooting and his techniques and everything else, and he's very aware of not everything works for everybody. So he tries to figure out what works best for you and to analyze you as a person, which I see is really great. And he's a very humble guy, which we get along very well because of that.
Yeah.
And I do plan on training with some other instructors, not because Morgan's a bad one whatsoever, but because it's great to get multiple sources of information and gather your own into your own style. And Morgan would even tell you that grabbing from a lot of great shooters is great. And that's one thing that I believe that I've exceeded at a certain rate because I've studied things about other shooters and watched other things of other shooters and tips that they have to show other people.
Yeah, boom. I mean, some people kind of have, you know, a little bit of a disagreement there. I agree with you, but it seems because he could be the best guy in the world and you're learning from him, but everybody has their own little technique, and you got to learn. It might be just something a little bit that you can pick up that can really improve your game that somebody missed. I mean, you mostly 2 days of shooting, or there's usually split class time, and then you go on the range both days depending on how the instructor wants to do it. But I mean, they give you the tools, and then it's your obviously obligation to go out there and practice those tools to get better. But there's always, I've always picked up a few things from every different instructor I've trained with. So it's, and some people think you should just have one instructor that's a great instructor and have him coach you through it. So I can see both ways. I've done it the opposite of that. So I've had probably like 5 people that I've trained under that were twice the shooter than I was. So Vogel, Morgan, we had Gabby Franco was my very first instructor. She really showed me how to be accurate. And I think there's a few more. Ben, I did a class with Ben. So great stuff there as far as instructors. I know, Jen, you trained with a lot of people yourself, the Michelicks, is there anybody else that you trained with that I'm missing?
I haven't trained with anybody formally. I mean, I took that class with the Michelicks, and then, just shooting with Jana and James. But it's not been anything official, just going out with them and shooting, which they've coached me a tremendous amount.
Yeah. So that class with the Michelicks was like a before match thing?
It was separate from the match. It was a 3-gun class that they did, kind of leading up to the lady 3-gun.
Right. Okay.
So it was a different place than the match, and it was well before it. It was like 6 months before it. But they did those kind of getting ready for the 3-gun match.
All right, so I know you guys are going to be like, what's all the noise in the background? Well, Justin's actually doing this from his gun club. So there is obviously some customer flow going on and some customer conversation in the background. Obviously, they live in the sticks, which is not unusual for shooters, and they don't have a real strong internet connection. So, not unusual. We had a shooter do it at McDonald's one time. So it's awesome that they take the time out and go to a different area just to get on the show with us. I mean, I would have said screw that, but I'm just, I guess, call me mean, but that's what it is. All right, so Jen, what do you have? Do you have any questions you want to throw in here, or anything you want to add here?
I don't think there's any in Facebook yet. Did you shoot the war sport, Justin?
No, I didn't.
You missed it. You should have done it.
Yeah,
that was in Georgia, wasn't it?
Huh?
That was in Georgia too. That was in a state.
No, it was in North Carolina.
North Carolina. All right.
Yeah, but it was awesome. You should have done it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get into 3-gun. I just haven't had the opportunity to. I'm actually going to start out shooting the Atlanta 3-gun and move on to there.
Well, I might see you there because I go and shoot that a good bit. When I'm off, I go there.
Yeah, we have seen, Justin, I have seen videos of you picking up a rifle and blazing it down, and you're shooting a Rhino Arms 3-gun rifle, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you got some good equipment. We talked to the dudes at AP Customs and Rhino Arms a lot, on this show. Probably like 3 shows we've had Aaron and Jeremy on. So you got some elite equipment with them, and you're kind of heading off in the right direction. You got any shotgun yet, or you don't have all the gear put together yet?
No, I've got my shotgun. I'm actually going to start off shooting a Mossberg 930, the Jerry Mitchell edition, and I have an X-Rail 10-round tube on there, and it's just a matter of getting to a match and getting up and starting.
Okay, so there you go. All right, so there you're beware of a little 3-gun from the youngster. I don't know, maybe the next year or maybe later this year you might see him out there. Maybe I'll get out there eventually and also shoot some here and there. All right. So Justin, what's the importance of dry fire and physical fitness to improve your shooting ability? How much do you dry fire, and what do you think about it?
Well, I think that dry fire is very important, and me personally, I try for about an hour a day. Of course, we all have lives and things happen, but I mean, as a rule, that's about how much I try to dry fire. And it's very important, especially when you're coming in as a new shooter, to dry fire, because it's great to have that to be very familiar with your firearm. And that's mostly what dry fire does, is familiarizes you with your gun so that you can become better with it in a match, such as clearing malfunction or reloads or anything like that.
There you go. That's how you feel about it. How about physical fitness? Are you anywhere on that boat yet?
Absolutely. I think that forearm strength and chest strength absolutely plays a big role. And I mean, if you're somebody who's huffing and puffing at the end of a stage, you're definitely going to have to do something about that.
Yeah.
But strength plays a big role.
Yeah. All right. So we got some dry fire and physical fitness notes right there. Let's jump into the giveaway here. Giveaway for today's show is a great giveaway, as usual. Where is it at? I know it's Blade Tech Industries. Well, I find it here, is donating a classic outside the waistband holster and some team pouches. So I got some their team pouches fresh in a package right here. Let me get them out because they're a little bit different, and I don't know if a lot of people know what they have. This relief cut right here in the back, so it allows that magazine to get out at an angle and come out a little bit faster. So this is the team pouch. These are, it's just going to save you a lot of money on setup. And so you're going to get a classic outside the waistband holster, and you're going to get, I believe, 2 or 3 of these from Blade Tech Industries.
Great pouches.
Let me see. And you're using the same setup right there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Why can't I find it? Oh, the giveaway's right here. All right, and we have Tactical mount and holster. So you're going to get the mount that's going to slide on any rail, Glock, 1911. If it's a rail, it's probably going to work with it. So the Tactical optics mount and the holster that goes with it. And that holster is universal to the mount, not the firearm. So big deal here. We're going to have 2 winners. That's a great package in itself. Tack rack. Where's it at? Where's my tack rack? I know I got it somewhere down here. Oh, there it is. Got a tack rack for the Glock and M&P and XDM line of pistols. So just an attachment that goes on the back plate of a Glock or those pistols that I announced just now. Great little accessory to add. That's going out. And a Terran Tactical Innovations Glock connector kit. So you're going to have all the springs and the connector to get your Glock trigger down to 3.5 pounds. All right, so the 2 winners, that's going to end next Wednesday, so we got a week to enter here. Next Wednesday at what time? It's going to end next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so if you take advantage by liking Justin's Athletes page, if you haven't liked it already, you get bonus entries for this giveaway. Most of you guys are familiar with how it works, but for those new guys, take advantage of all the bonus entries that are available through that link. We have that link posted on the Shooter's Mindset giveaway. It's our very latest Shooter's Mindset Facebook post. It's our latest post there. So you can enter it there, and I'll have it in the comment section below this video when we're done. Okay? So boom, there we go. Any questions you have on Facebook there, John?
Yeah, we got some. Our friend Joshua Doss is back, who used to give us a lot of questions, and then he disappeared for a while. But he said, hey, been a while since I've posted any live questions, that he's been busy. So he's back with lots of questions for you, Justin.
Awesome.
He says, first question is, what is your biggest mental hurdle while competing, and what do you do to overcome it?
Well, a lot of times the problem is with shooters is they want to talk and they want to familiarize and be friendly with everyone. The problem with that is that you don't get your mental mindset correct and the stage plan correct. You may think that you have it in your mind, but you really don't. So what I try to do is I'll actually set myself aside and close my eyes and go through the stage several times in my head to familiarize it. So I'm actually running it around 10 to 15 times before I actually shoot it. So it's just as if you were to get a reshoot and shoot it even better.
I think that's true. I mean, there's sometimes, I think some of the matches people think I might be standoffish, but I'm not. It's just like I need to think. And then by the time like we get to the very last stage and we finally finish, and then I'll be like goofing off and, you know, having a good time, like once I get that last one done, and then I'm like, hey, so what was your name? I mean, and it's bad because I've shot with you for 2 days, but like I really get tunnel vision about trying to make sure that I'm concentrating, because it gets so easy to goof around.
Absolutely.
It's kind of a little bit of a hard thing to do too, because you know you always want. It seems like your buddies always want you to shoot with them in a squad, unless everybody has that understanding of, yo, don't talk to me before stage, talk to me after that stage. Then I think we're good. But it's kind of hard to do, at least for me. You know, I like to talk to the shooters and I like to talk to my buddies and goof around and your MMP sucks, that type of conversation. You know, and then then you go down there and you totally miss the target. That's an FTN and down 10, and you're like, oops, I thought I saw that target. You know, in my head it was there, but I just totally forgot about it. So that's actually something that I need to do better with my stage plans. Also, is just try to hush it and just go out there and keep the stage in my head and go out there and shoot it and talk after. So.
He also wants to know if you do your own gunsmithing work.
No, I actually don't. It depends what it is. If it's just something as simple as, I don't know, like changing a grip handle or something like that, of course I'll do something like that. But like a trigger job or anything like that, I'll always have a professional gunsmith do that because they have the knowledge and the tools to be able to do that, which not everyone has. So I would always recommend that.
Yeah, especially shooting that custom, pistol that you're shooting. Who made that one for you? Is that just an STI or is that custom?
This is actually custom built from Dave Dawson.
Okay, so Dave Dawson did that one for you. Yeah, so those they're not a Glock. It's not like you just pull them apart and you can take every part out and then put them right back in. You know, there's a lot more that I'm learning that the hard way with the 2011 that I picked up. It's like so you have to shave the follower. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, I don't want to take too much off and then it doesn't work. So it's always going back to someone who really knows what they're doing on that type of stuff. I don't try to mess with it. I'm confident enough with a Glock, and even if I ruin it or I forget to put in a piece or I lose a piece, it's a quick fix. It's a cheap part. I can pop it right back in and order it. It's not a big deal. But with those type of pistols, I don't even take a risk in it anymore. We can hit the more if you have more from Josh or anybody else. We can hit those.
Yeah, we have a few more from him, and also some I'm going to hit first from Mac German Short Hair Pointer. I like some of his questions. He wanted to know, who are your favorite pro shooters, one male and one female?
Well, of course, everybody's favorite, Jerry, and then I'd probably have to say my good friend Ashley Brewer. I've got to shoot with her a few times, and she's been a great junior shooter and a great ambassador of the sport also.
Who was the lady shooter? I missed that. I didn't hear it.
Ashley Brewer.
Oh, Ashley. Oh, yeah. We had Ashley's awesome. Ashley, incredible shooter, man. It's beyond impressive every time I see her out there. So yeah, I agree. Everybody likes the Jerry, and Ashley's a good pick. Man, is she's burning it down in the 3-gun scene too. Man. Watch out. Yeah.
He also asked, which I thought was an interesting question because you are a junior, what do you think gun clubs can do to get more juniors into the shooting sports?
The problem is that everybody thinks that guns are a bad thing, and really they're not. And guns can be used for recreational use and to have fun also, and that's what everybody needs to know, is that it can be a good thing. And they need to encourage more younger people to let them know that it is a good thing, and that it can be fun, and that it's not dangerous.
Right. Yeah. And I think, you see a lot of the gun ranges, they do ladies' night where ladies shoot free. Let's do a juniors' night too, man. You know what I mean? Like any kid under the age of 18, have them one night where they can shoot free. And it's constantly with the ladies. Every gun club that I know around my area has one ladies' free night.
Absolutely.
But there's no juniors' free night. And I think that might be something that a gun shop might take advantage of. Because obviously they got to bring their dad with them. So they're still going to make money. You know what I mean? They're still going to get a range fee in there or something like that. They're just going to be a discounted rate. So they're just not going to completely free. They're still going to make money off of it. So juniors night with gun clubs, if you're hearing me, let's get a juniors only free on the range type of deal. Maybe throw in some paper targets along with it, some targets so they can shoot it up. Not a bad idea. And it's not going to cost them much at all. All right. So I got one here from well, let's hit this one here because this one's from Clint Bowen. He's a Rainier Ballistics teammate of ours, and he's a fantastic shooter in himself. He asks this one for you. What are your long-term goals in the shooting industry, and what are the biggest hurdles for a junior shooter making their way through the ranks? So that's kind of a two-part question from Clint Bowen.
Well, first one I would like to answer is my long-term goals would be to be one of those top-name shooters, such as Max Michelle, Jerry, and all those guys that we all know and love. And then the second question I really want to get into detail with, because you wouldn't think this, but it actually really does happen. And a lot of people push the juniors aside. They really do, and they don't let them in front of the crowd and get through the stage walkthrough like they should and everything else. Well, I mean, as a junior shooter, I've had to go through a lot of hurdles and everything else with people pushing me aside and trying to cheat me out on the rules and everything else. So what I recommend is knowing the rule book, knowing the sport, and getting with a good trainer and let them aid you through the way on that one. The reason being is because a lot of junior shooters, and I've seen this happen, get discouraged because they're by themselves or they don't know quite what to do. They don't know the techniques. They're not as accurate. They want to be fast, but they are not fast. And they don't understand why. And
I have that problem. I'm not a junior.
Really? I haven't noticed that. With any time I saw a junior shooter or a lady shooter, it's almost, I mean, maybe just me, but I don't know. I've noticed it from the crowd that I've been around that it's almost like they'll take their time out, from their stage plan. If it's a local match, definitely I see this, I'll take the time out of not even thinking about a stage and really just telling the junior or the lady shooter everything about the stage and kind of just putting it off my shooting. So kind of encourage them, especially the newbies, because we had a shooter, man, he was all over the place. I mean, he was safe with it, but he wasn't hitting that target because that trigger control was way off. But you know what I mean? You kind of had some SOs that were kind of acting a little funny with him because they knew he was a new guy and he was a young kid too, probably about your age. And I was like, dude, you can't. They were calling him on a lot of penalties. It's a local match. I would let these kids slide a little bit. I mean, they're not going to really beat anybody, so it's not like anybody's going to complain about it anyway. So I don't know. I really haven't seen too much of it. I've seen some of it, but maybe in major matches it's a little bit more, people are a little bit more serious about that game out there. But I'm the complete opposite, man. I'll take my whole time out and show somebody all the rules, all the equipment they need. They can borrow my stuff and get out there and shoot, man. And hopefully you come back next month and shoot the match again, because then we really got somebody interested. That makes everything better.
I think you're right about the local versus the the bigger matches. Like local matches, everybody is very, very helpful. I think to juniors and females. I think when you get to a major match, everybody is so out for their own, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, it's a major match. You paid a lot of money. I'm kind of like that too. I mean, I'm gonna get my stage plan before I go help somebody else because I paid $250 entry fee into it. Despite everyone thinking that we get everything free, it's not. I mean, it was $250 out of my pocket, so I'm going to take my time. And I've just kind of learned that you have to really nudge up there and not be shy and like wait timidly for your turn. You know, I get in line, and when it's my turn, I go up and I do my walkthrough. But that wasn't what I was saying. I agree with that I have that experience with. He's talking about juniors that are having trouble not shooting fast and don't understand why. I was saying I don't shoot fast and I don't understand why.
Yeah. Well, I don't, on the major match, I can see it. I see it a little bit more, but I would still like, you know what I mean? Even if it's a bust, if it was an average match, you know what I mean, and that kid did better than me, I think that's kind of a win in a sense. You know, unless it was like $1,000 match, I flew across the country and now I'm pissed off. But like a Florida State IDPA match is an in-state major, whatever. It's not a big deal.
And I agree with that. But I mean, local matches when I first started out, a lot of people had their nose held high, and I was wondering why. I was like, well, what am I doing wrong? Is it what I'm wearing? Is it how I'm shooting? Am I scaring people or something of that nature? No, they just don't understand, and they're not willing to. A lot of people are, so I'm not going to speak for everyone, but there are some people who I guess would say jealous, but they're not going to go out of their way to help you with your equipment or something of that nature. Now, I mean, and what I would say to the junior shooters is to stick with it. Don't get discouraged at all, and to stick with it because it's a learning process. I mean, even if you were to ask Jerry, who's been shooting, I don't even know how many years. He learns stuff all the time, I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
But it's a learning process, and I've even seen it at not just local matches, but sanctioned matches where people will try to cheat you out and do everything like that because you're a good junior shooter or something of that nature.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also, the more fancier that jersey gets, the more that kind of comes into play. I at least what I've noticed a little bit. Like, there's always those, well, I want that. I want this, and I want all the names on my shirt. And there's a little bit of haters going on there. But, you know what I mean? That's just a game. You kind of ignore that stuff, and you just kind of just play your game. So, you know what I mean? That's kind of like with anything. People are going to hate on you if you're doing pretty good at it. So, there you go.
See, one thing with sponsors is it's not just about skill set. I've seen a lot of shooters who are just average shooters but have an outgoing personality and do reviews on products. If you've liked my page and everything, you see the reviews that I've been doing, and I want to continue to do more of that because that helps out the companies that I represent, and they also represent me. And that's what these companies are really looking for, is a great ambassador to their company and to the sport. It's not just skill set; it's somebody to represent them.
Yeah, you're kind of almost in a sense, kind of like an employee, or not really, but you're just a spokesperson more. That's the word you use, and I agree. So you agree on, because we were going to hit sponsorship advice, and we're kind of already hitting on it now. But so you're saying the social media and doing reviews on YouTube, and Facebook and all that other stuff. You recommend guys who are looking for sponsorships to kind of take that route or add it to if they're already established shooter, to add social media and take the time out and put up that 5-minute YouTube video on a product that they believe in for their sponsor or whatever, or whether they believe, even if they're not sponsored, man, if you really like your gear and you do that. That's how I started out before it was even competitive shooting. I just did stuff that I believed in, gear that threw up a video on it. And then I picked up competitive shooting, and my social media grew faster than my shooting ability did, in a sense. But I've had sponsors when I was a marksman in IDPA. That kind of tells you something a little bit about that.
Well, and absolutely, because they're looking for somebody who can represent them just as they're representing you. And it's not all about the free stuff, because even with the free stuff, it's still expensive. Shooting is an expensive sport. But sponsors do help, and they help get you out there to become a bigger shooter and everything else. But when you have people who are great shooters and they are great ambassadors, that's the ones that they really, really want. But it's not just about being a great shooter, because you can be a great shooter but also be a jerk, and they don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody else is going to go, yeah, he can shoot good, but I don't like him. I don't like shooting with him.
Yeah, I don't want to squad with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I got one here in the Q&A from John B. Just wondering what's your favorite hunting rifle? I'm coming over into competition pistol shooting from a hunting background. Ever consider long-range competition?
I actually have considered it. It's not something that I think I'd want to get serious into, but it's something that I would like to get my feet wet into, just to try it out. And I've always hunted with the Savage. That's been a tried and true rifle for me. I love the rifles for sure. They're very accurate.
Is it a 308 Savage, or you got any caliber preference on that rifle?
I actually started out with the 243, their youth model.
Okay.
And now I'm actually shooting with a 30-06. It's the same model. It's the model 110, I believe. And that's just a great rifle. It fits for me. I've had absolutely no problems with it.
Yeah, and they put out an really affordable rifle, something that's not going to break the bank. I mean, I did a little hunting in my day, and I only shoot when I'm going to eat, though. You know what I mean? And there seems to be a lot of hunting is definitely on the radar now after sport hunting, after that lion deal. It's all over the social media stuff, but we don't want to get too deep into that. But yeah, so and I think I used a 30-30 Marlin lever action rifle at that time, and I wish I never sold it because it was a nice little piece. But I just sat there, and if I don't use my guns and they start getting dust on them, I just start losing interest and I sell them for something I'm going to use. So there it is. Any hunting that you did, Jennifer?
I have never hunted.
Any desire to?
I would like
Boar.
to, just to see if I can do it, but my husband says I can't keep my mouth shut long enough to hunt.
Well, you can always do some out of the helicopter boar. Just pop, 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 pop.
I said for my birthday next year I'd like to go helicopter hog hunting, but we'll see. But yeah, he's said before, you couldn't go hunting. There's no way you'd be quiet long enough. No animal would come around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I get. That's how I get treated.
Yeah, right. Not too bad. I mean, he knows you. He knows
This is true.
So all right. Keep the questions coming, guys. We really appreciate it. Here I have one here from Chuck Clark. Chuck's a good buddy of mine. Shoots IDPA and a variety of pistol games. But how was the Florida State IDPA match in terms of difficulty compared to other sanctioned matches that you shot in the past or this year?
Florida was probably one of the hardest matches that I've shot, up there with Georgia State and probably the Nationals. The Nationals had one tough stage that really got me, and that was that lollipop stage. But Florida, it had some challenging stages, but it was a great match. It's definitely one that I'd recommend and that I'm going back to. Stage number 1, the train stage, I think got everyone except Shannon Smith.
Yeah.
Took the entire match.
That was a rough stage to start out on, man. Because people bomb that. It seems like everybody was bombing it, and then you kind of get this. Oh man, I started off the day with like 30 points down. You know what I mean? You get this in your head, like, dude, this might be all over with already. So that was a really bad stage. That's the stage that I ended. That was my last stage of the day, which didn't help my final score. But I wish I could have that one back. I wish I could do that match all over again. The people who put on that match, Dwayne and Alan and them dudes are really good people, and they really did put on a good IDPA match, that Florida State one, man. But I wish I could have it back and do that one over again. That was a big do-over stage for me match. but it was fun nonetheless. 2.5 hour drive. It didn't break the bank in a sense. So there it is. And we both didn't do well, but you did end up beating me. So it was like whatever. We both stank it up, but I just stank up the joint a little bit more.
Yeah.
On that one. But
there were some of those stages that killed me. That one, and then the one with all the cars. That one really got me.
Yeah.
And it was really a great match.
Yeah.
And actually, me and some teammates, me, Clint, Charlie, and Joe Graham, we took the team.
Oh yeah, you took the team challenge. Yeah, the team ran there, won that one. That was awesome. So good for you guys. So it was. I remember that now. Yeah, you guys were all holding the trophies. That was a good picture. I remember that one. All right. So indoor nationals. I didn't know you were there. I didn't see you there. I saw Clint there, but I was there also. The lollipop stage actually was one of my better stages, believe it or not, and I smoked that stage. But it was kind of like it was a weird stage to explain. I got it up on YouTube, but it was, and it's kind of weird, a lollipop stage. People are thinking, what's going on? But it was these moving objects that were blocking the target, and every position, like the target I lifted up my sights on, it was clear. Like it just went in perfect. My time, it was just boom, 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 and I was done. Like I didn't have to wait for anything to go by. It was just flawless, man. I did pretty good on that one. There were some other stages I wish I could have back, but overall, that's a great match. Indoor nationals to shoot at Smith & Wesson up in the cold, freezing cold. Where is it at? Massachusetts. There you go. Yeah, so there you have it. You have two on Facebook you want to hit, Jen. What do you got?
Yeah, let me see here. I have from Tony Paul Jr. He said that, Justin, you mentioned hearing about IDPA first. Would you suggest someone new start with IDPA or start with USPSA for their very first match? Looking back, is one easier to learn or better for beginners?
I don't necessarily think that one's easier than the other. I do think that IDPA is more accuracy based, which is great. So then when you get a transition over to USPSA, you have that speed built up from winning IDPA, but you also have the accuracy. And then when you start shooting USPSA, you become faster, and it really works on both parts. It's really great to shoot both.
Yeah, I don't think there's one better than the other for a beginner. I think you can enter production division with your stock striker fire gun and learn the ropes on the way up. I started in IDPA, still like to shoot that game, but I shoot USPSA also. I mean, I thought the skill set definitely cross over and make you a better shooter by shooting both also.
I do agree with starting with a pistol only. To start,
Absolutely.
like for me, I was brand new to guns and I wanted to do it, and everybody thought I was crazy and going to shoot myself anyway. But I only had one gun to worry about and one, how to fix malfunctions, and it helped learn the commands that are, range commands that are the same across the board. You learned those, but only had one gun to deal with. I remember my first 3-gun match, I was like, oh my gosh, because there's 3 guns to keep straight and safety on and safety off. And so I definitely think pistol only matches are just easier to get started into, at least to get the hang of it.
Agreed. I think we all hit some valid points on that one. I think you can start in either or, find what's closer to you. If you have both of them or both the same club does both, just go ahead and dabble in each of them. You know what I mean? Play that game. As long as you have confident safety, your safety's down and you feel confident there, I think you'll do well in either. Starting off. So.
Speaking of gun clubs, Charles Knight wants to know, Justin, can you tell us about Governors? What sort of shooting experiences do they offer? Is there anything that sets them apart that you would recommend them to people looking at clubs? They see the sign behind you.
Governors, I would have to say, has been really great to me, and they're absolutely the nicest range that I've been to as far as indoor ranges. And I mean, as you can see here, just in this room, it's incredibly the high quality of just the building itself, and it actually kind of looks like a log cabin from the outside. And it's really neat. It's kind of got a rustic look to it, and the filtration system is very high quality, so you're not breathing in lead. and I mean, just the range. It's a great looking range. It's a very big range, and they've actually got plans for a bigger range. I'm not sure if you've seen the news on that one, but I believe that one's going to be the biggest in the world. So that's definitely one to check out also. And they're going to have an indoor skeet range there.
Where is it located? What part of Georgia?
The one that I'm currently in is in Hiram, Georgia, which is not too far from me. The other one's going to be towards Kennesaw.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. So junior shoot free night over at Governor's Club. Let's make it happen. I know they're going to watch this now. Since we talked, they see you obviously at the shop. They're going to see this. Junior shoot free. I don't know. Let's not do Wednesday's night because we want them to watch the show. Let's do Tuesday night. Juniors over there at Governor's. Don't quote me on it though, but it might happen. All right. Boom. All right. Let's see. What do we have? As far as I wanted to hit this one. Where's it at? Where'd it go? Okay. We were talking a little bit about USPSA just now. They just obviously announced. It's been going around a lot with Manny. We had him on the show last week, and he announced it. Carry Optics, Production Optics, whatever you want to call it, division in USPSA is coming. Okay. Do you have any plans of shooting it? What are your thoughts on Carry Optics?
I definitely think that it'll help bring more people to USPSA. I'm not quite sure if I want to shoot it yet, but it's something that I am going to look at because I just love shooting different things. If you're going to hand me a gun, I'm going to shoot it, whether it's a high point or the nicest gun you can find.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel real good about. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know, man. I've never been a fan of like the RMR type of dot on a pistol. You know what I mean?
The problem that I see with the optics is that it's just too small. The Seymours are very open and everything else, and I've seen like the match dot ultra dots. They kind of block a lot because you're looking through it and not just around it and everything else. Yeah. But I think the Seymour would probably be the way to go. Like if you were to go shoot open, out of those three type of optics, I think the Seymour would probably be the way to go from what I've seen, and that's probably what I'm going to go with.
And they don't allow the tactical mount, man. You can't have a mount. You can't use the mount to get into Carry Optics. It has to be mounted on the slide of your pistol. You know what I mean? So 10-round limit or whatever it is, production rules with an optic on it. So I don't know. You pretty much have to buy a striker gun, get it milled out if you already have one, or buy those like Glock MOS or the MMP Pro, whatever, the one that you can just pop it on. And it seems like a lot of manufacturers are coming out with a line of pistol like that. So I guess that's some of the juice for them making this happen. But I don't know, man. The Chris Costa stuff with the RMR and stuff, they'll search and assess. If I'm gonna shoot that, I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna do the search, unload, show clear, search and assess it, safely put it. All that. You gotta play the role with that. I don't know. I have no plans on shooting it though.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean? Let's put some grip. Let's put some tape all over my arms and some paint on my face and go in there and shoot Carry Optics.
Yeah.
All right.
Big up beard like Chris Costa.
Yeah, grow it out a little bit. Yeah, whatever. All right. What do we hit? We hit a lot of good stuff so far throughout the show. We're winding it down here. So let's jump into the lightning round quickly. One of the other kind of questions for you, Justin, really quick. If you can only load your ammo on a Lee or an RCBS press, what are you going with?
I'd probably say RCBS.
RCBS. Any experience with it, or are you just kind of taking that as a wild guess?
I'm pretty much taking it as a wild guess. We've only loaded on a Dillon.
Yeah, boom, there it is. Yeah, that's all right. That's fine. Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris get into a fight. Who do you have winning?
Probably Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris, really. I disagree, but that's whatever. 9mm or 45. You can carry one, shoot one for hunting, competition, all around caliber. What do you have?
Probably 9mm. Honestly, it's a faster shooting round. It's a lighter recoil. That's what I'm currently using.
Yeah.
It all just depends. It's what your flavor is. It's what you're shooting and everything else. I don't think either one's better than the other. It's all personal preference.
Boom. All right, that's a good answer, man. iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
iPhone all the way. iPhone's leading this, and I'm glad to hear this. Because some Android people want to, man, they really come with their facts, man. It's just, yeah, it's just really a copy of the iPhone in a sense. They're just trying to, whatever. All right, direct impingement or piston-driven ARs?
I really don't prefer either one, actually. I think they're both great systems.
Yeah, I agree, too. But if you had to choose one, this is the lightning round, man. It doesn't really mean that you need a. What do you got?
I'd probably go with gas.
Gas, yeah, I agree there. All right, zombies are outside Governor's Gun Club. That's probably a bad spot to be if you're a horde of zombies. But are you picking up the rifle, pistol, or shotgun to get the job done?
It'd probably be between rifle and pistol, and I just feel that I could engage them faster with a pistol.
Yeah, I agree there, man. You gotta. I don't know. There's people who can smoke it with an AR, but just me being a little bit more comfortable with a pistol, I think I can really take them down.
I mean, I'm a lot better shooter with a rifle than I am a pistol, but there's less to swing around, so I feel that pistol would probably be best, and you can reload a lot faster.
Well, all right, that's fair. Jen, you disagree with that?
No.
You're taking a pistol out, or you're taking a shotgun out?
No, I don't disagree with it for him, but for me, I'm not taking my pistol.
Yeah.
One day I can do well with my pistol, the next I can't hit the broadside of a barn. No, I will. I'd be either the rifle with a 40-round magazine, or I'd be taking some slugs.
Boom, damn. That's putting down. Well, that's going through zombies. All right, good stuff. We have striker fire, hammer fire. I think I know the answer to this one for Justin.
It used to be striker fire, but I'd have to say a hammer fired gun. The 1911 is king. I mean, I'm loving it.
Yeah, he's loving it. Hammer fire. There you go. Chevy versus Ford, man. If you can buy your first pickup or something, what are you going with?
It'd probably be a Ford.
Yeah, I can agree there. Chevy makes a nice truck, but I don't know. I'm kind of digging a Ford. All right, Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
All right, and In-N-Out Burger and Five Guys, and I'll wrap it up.
I've never been to an In-N-Out burger, so I'd have to go with Five Guys.
Yeah, so there was there was an article published where Whataburger or whatever that place is. I never ate there, so I can't attest. But won the best fast food burger and beat In-N-Out. So there's a lot of disagreement and debate going on about that. But Whataburger seems to be the place to be. I don't even know if I'm saying the name of the restaurant. Right?
I actually seen one of those. I actually just got back from Florida, and there was one down there, and I was like, "What is that?"
Where is it at, man? I need to look it up. I guess I'm curious to see if this burger's good now. So we'll see. I've had In-N-Out and Five Guys and pretty much Checkers and you name it, man. I've had a lot of burgers in my day. All right, so lightning round's done. Quick reminder on the giveaway here for those just joining us. Tactical Mountain holster, Blaytech Classic outside the waistband holster with magazine pouches, the team magazine pouches, boom, that I've been playing around with the entire show. Got a tack rack from rightshooting.com, TerranTacticalInnovations.com. By the way, they just released they are releasing. They're kind of hinting it, and they're going out to some folks. But they have some, they're lower receivers. So if you want a strip lower receiver from Terran Tactical Innovations, they now have it available, or it's coming soon to the website, but they're pumping them out now. So Terran Tactical Innovations, their Glock trigger kit. We're going to have 2 winners. You can see the link to enter the giveaway on the Shooter's Mindset Facebook page. It's our latest post. After the show, I'll get a link down in the comment section below this video, or if you follow us on social media, you'll find it. I mean, it's not that tough. We have a week to enter that. That's going to end next Wednesday, episode 99. We'll announce the winners for that. So be sure to enter. All right, Discount Corner. Jen, do you want to kick off the Discount Corner quickly?
Well,
you got the Samson one. You can always say.
I know you were cutting out as well. I was laughing. I thought you were going to freeze. Samson Manufacturing, you can get 10% off on their website with the code TSM10.
TSM10, that's Samson Manufacturing, that's samson-mfgpro.com. Okay. All right, I got a couple here. Tactical, we talked about this earlier with Justin. We're going to hit a little bit more on it before we wrap it up. Tactical, TSM10 saves you 10% off anything on Tactical, so shirts, mounts, holsters. They have a AR-15 compensator that is going to come out very shortly if it's not already out. That's supposed to be the deal. All right, so umtactical.com, TSM10, 10% off. Terran Tactical Innovations, we talked about their lowers coming out. If you want to save 10% on that lower, that strip lower, that's TSM10. If you want a full-blown rifle from them, 10% off. TSM10 at terrantacticalinnovations.com will save you money there on their base pads as well. Standard Deviation Arms, TSM5 for 5% off. They have a variety of accessories over there, so kind of all your shooting needs in a sense. So go over there, check them out. TSM10, 5% off. Dewey rods. If you need some cleaning, some top of the line cleaning rods and patches and the whole deal, check out DeweyRods.com. They also have some AR accessories on there. Use Cruise Rod 10. That's CRUZ Rod 10 altogether. 10% off on DeweyRods.com. Fort Mill Munitions, TSM. TSM5 saves you 5% off all ammunition purchases over at TeamFMM.com. What do we have? TacticalLight.net. That's TSM10 for 10% off T-shirts, grips, and stickers. TacticalLife.net, 10% off. Check them out. That's what I got for Discount Corner. But we want to talk about this. Blade Tech, we obviously share a lot of interest in gear between me and you, Justin. What are your thoughts, and why do you trust this stuff? What made you choose, Tactical, Blade Tech, and Rainier bullets to shoot? Why are you running this? Why do you trust it?
Well, I can just say this. I only represent what I have faith in and what I actually use. I'm not going to just go with somebody just because they make me a better offer necessarily. I'm going to use what I trust and what I absolutely like. I've been using Blade Tech since the beginning, and I've absolutely had no reason to change. I've seen some other holsters such as Comptac and Safariland and everything else that they're just not as smooth as Blade Tech, I guess I could say. I'm not saying that they're bad holsters. I'm just saying that they're not as good as Blade Tech.
Yeah, there you go. So, and Rainier, obviously we're loading their bullets for 9mm and a striker gun. I prefer and a polymer gun. I prefer their 147 grain hollow point round. I like to be fancy with the hollow points. They have them there. There's not too many bullet manufacturers that do have a hollow point in 147 grain in itself. So that's my choice. What are you loading for your 2011?
I'm actually using their truncated round nose in 147 grain.
147, really? Okay, so you're using the 147 also. I know a lot of people who shoot 2011s and 1911s who like the lighter bullet, like the 124 or even a 115. So that's just something you have to play around with and find what works for you. But you can check them out, RainierBallistics.com, if you guys are interested in purchasing any of those projectiles. I believe they have a giveaway going on their Facebook page. So go to Rainier Ballistics Facebook page. I think they're giving away 1,000 projectiles, 1,000 bullets for you reloaders out there. So that's that's going to definitely help you out on the pocket and to get in that giveaway and get to reloading and itself. And you could probably choose whatever you want, whatever they have available on their website if you win. So there you have it. mount. Have you found throwing on the mount and the dot, and just burning it down? Is it something that it's a slow transition to learn with the mount and a dot, or did it take just a couple rounds?
It's not necessarily a slow transition, but it's a learning curve for sure. It's one focus point instead of 2 or 3, and it's easier. I think it'd be easier to switch from irons to a dot instead of a dot to irons. But I'm loving it. I've been running that on my M&P Pro 9.
Yeah, so it does. The only thing, I think it takes a few hundred rounds, in my opinion. It's just because the dot's just a little higher. So you're used to that iron sight, and where your round's gonna hit there. when you got this elevation of the dot that you're looking through, now you got to know where your pistol hits. So it'll probably only take a couple hundred rounds, and you'll be burning it down with the Mountain dot. So good stuff. Do we have any live that popped up? I think I haven't even opened it on my end. Let me open it.
You talking about on Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook.
We've had a good many come in. I've hit a good many of them. Joshua Doss says, you're very calm and collected for a competitive younger guy. You're an asset and an ambassador, not just to the shooting sports, but to the firearms industry. So keep your mindset. Thought that was a neat comment he gave there.
Thank you.
He did want to know, do you do any YouTube videos? Do you have a YouTube channel?
I actually do. I believe it's Justin Winstead IDPA or IDPA Justin Winstead.
Yeah. I think it's IDPA Justin Winstead, but if you type in his name, it just pops up. So just type in his name, hit search on YouTube, and you'll get it. So if you're interested in the videos, he does a lot of like drill videos, like burning it down drill videos. So if you're interested in learning that's his times and stuff, and maybe throw a video back at him if you can beat his time, that's usually always fun. It pushes somebody a little harder. I find when someone can beat your time by a few tenths of a second, then you want to go out there and do it and beat his time. It's kind of a good way of doing things. All right, so boom, there we go. We got that. We got that going. What do we have? Any upcoming goals, events, or projects? Any matches you have coming up?
I actually have a lot of matches. We'll be going to the Music City Cup, New Mexico, the Masters, and the World's coming up here pretty soon, which I got elected to be in the Super Squad there, so I'm pretty happy about that one. And I mean, I have a lot of matches coming up. I'm also going to the AMU again this year, and that was a lot of fun last year. I believe Shane Cooley is our guest speaker there. Just a lot of shooting. My dad really keeps up with the calendar and everything else that much, but that's just the ones I get off the top of my head.
Yeah, the Masters is in Alabama. I'm touring around with it. I shot a couple matches up there, and they're a really great venue up there. But there's an East Coast. There's one East Coast Championship in North Carolina the same date, I think, or something like that. They're very close to each other. So Belay Tech is running the East Coast, so I'm gonna go over there and I think represent Belay Tech up in North Carolina and burn it down over there. But I think I'm gonna skip the Masters this year because of just a match conflict. What else am I doing? The New Mexico one is also being, kind of going to try to schedule that one. That'll be fun to go over there. I've never been to that state, so we'll see what happens there. Anything else? Any projects or anything else you got coming up, man, that you want to talk about?
No, not really. I'm actually going to start hitting it hard in 3-gun and USPSA this next year. Just really going to try to get into that. IDPA have been doing really well on that one, and I just believe it's time to shoot them all.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And you got, Super Squad privilege over at the IDPA Worlds, man. That's awesome to be in the presence of the Vogels and the Nils and all them dudes, man. Brandon Wright, if he's shooting it, I believe he will. He'll be up there, man. Good squad. Julie's probably going to be there, man. I would highly be looking forward to that. I'm not going to be able to make it to the Worlds this year. It's just too hard on the pocket for me to make it up there, but good stuff. Let's see, what do we have? I think we can run it down here. Unless we have any last-minute Q&A questions, we can probably run it down to shout-outs.
No, I think we hit everything. I'm good on this end.
Yeah, I'm good on this end. Justin, any shout-outs on your end you want to talk about?
Absolutely. I'm going to shout out my sponsors such as Rainier, Blade Tech, Weapon Shield, Rudy, Governors, Hodgdon, Rhino Arms, and AP Customs, and then also Tactical.
Tactical, that's a quick rundown of. I take a lot more time than you on mine. I don't know, I talk too much. Jen, what do you have as far as sponsors?
Savannah River Armory, Sharpshooters of Augusta and Shooters of Augusta, Load Up Ammunition, Samson Operation X, Lucas Oil, and TacticalLife.net.
There we go. I'll run a mine. I want to just thank you guys for watching episode 98 of the Shooter's Mindset. Please subscribe. Right below the video, you're going to see a subscribe button. Make sure you hit that so you can, every Wednesday we do a new episode of the Shooter's Mindset. I'm toying around with moving it to Fridays. I don't know. My schedule's kind of getting packed, but I have to think about that a lot. I don't know if that's going to happen. But subscribe, and you can have all the up-to-date stuff. Also, download the app, and you can, convenient way to view from your mobile. If you want to contact me, my email is theshootersmindset@gmail.com, so pretty straightforward. You can reach me there. Thanks, Justin, man. Thanks for taking out your time, and your dad, man, for putting in this all together, taking the time, 2 hours out of your day to talk with us today. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me on the show.
Well, we'll do it again, a little later on. We'll get you back on. All right. I want to just quick shout out Rainier Ballistics, like we talked about, 147 grain hollow point rounds. They have all the rounds you need from 45, 40, you name it, they got it. Go check it out. RainierBallistics.com. Dewey Rods, Techwear USA. If you guys want a fine jersey, one that's it's gonna stay for the whole year. Believe me, I've had some that'll halfway through the year are just done. Techwear USA, check them out for your jersey needs. And they also have these grips here. They have 1911 grips and magwells and AR accessories. My next purchase is a single stack 1911 to put these bad boys on. All right, Rand CLP, carbon arms for your 3-gun accessory needs, your caddies, etc. Nate Square Tactical, Blaytech Industries, of course. And I'll leave it at that today. We'll get the book out, and we'll make sure we hit all the rest of them. Don't want to keep you guys too long on this one. But that'll do it, I guess, for episode 98 of the Shooter's Mindset. Thanks for joining us, guys. Jennifer, thanks for helping me out. Justin, man, I look forward to seeing you at matches in the future again. Let me see if I can redeem myself and finally get one on you. All right?
Absolutely.
All right. Boom. We'll talk to you guys later. We are out.